YouTuber the wide. Hey, it's me, Seaman Ted, and I'm back. I'm back with another video. And if you're in here, baby, you're good to go. What's going on, girl? I came here real fast. I got to keep going. We're not going to do this one long. Marcus is gone. Thank you. Now, I do believe in some of the reasons why they had unalive Marcus is, he is smart, and they already set the little bit in people's head that folks really believe in what he's saying, and he can influence people and so anyway, Marcus is gone. Thank you. Okay, because I just honey in the way. Larson just like, oh my gosh, oh my god, I was just like, oh my gosh, for real to that. So I don't know if y'all could hear me. The fact that he was gone, I was happy. But the way that Larsa was like, oh my gosh, like she was like having like a little quickie meltdown. I was like, girl, stop. Okay. Like, what the name of their radio podcast or something is like, hey, can't wait to get back to you, or miss you so much, or what is it called? No, what is it called? Separation anxiety, something like that. I'm like, give me a break. So anyway, Marcus is gone. He took it on his chin. He's like, and they both know why. They like, yeah, because they know that I'm gonna come in with a hammer and get people to follow along what I'm saying and stuff like that. So he'll be able to, sniff out pretty quickly the traitors. So I think that was a good choice to get Marcus out of there. It also helps me to be able to stomach the episode better. Okay. But anyways, so she gets over it, she's all like, I'm gonna get me some traitors now, and I'm so mad. I'm gonna get some traitors. I was like, Lord, she loves to start a witch hunt, baby. She will start a witch hunt real fast. And she done set in on Dan, baby. Her and MJ done set in on Dan, baby. So anyway, after the breakfast and stuff like that, folks are, what did he call it? What did he call it? A cob? Oh, I wonder what the name of that word that he called it. The little John dude, confab. There were little confabs all over the house, right? Look it up, CONFAB. Okay, and one of the confabs was had Deontay and Max and some other folks in there. Well, Max didn't give Deontay the face, the attention, the whatever. When he was like, well, what do you think about him being gone? And Max was just like, I don't know. I don't get it. Or, he just didn't have a lot to say. And that I don't like that part. Like, folks just be wilding out. Max didn't have a lot to say back to, what's the man's name? Deontay. And Deontay was on Max's tail the rest of the episode, child. I was not feeling that. I seriously was not feeling that. I mean, can I kind of see where Deontay was coming from? Very little. Like, I can kind of see where he was coming from. Like, oh yeah, he kind of was looking like, I don't know, who cares? Then he said later on at the round table that he had even laughed about it or something like that, and that was to me like a traitor. To me, I feel like what Max gave off traitor like is you never answer the man's question. When he asked, what do you feel about, like, how does this make you feel? Why do you think this happened to him? Like, traitor or not, you should have some kind of, answer, I don't know. Y'all tell me if y'all had a problem with how Max reacted to Deontay. Well, it got him kicked off because Deontay put together a immaculate, beautiful soliloquy against Max. Baby, that daggone soliloquy at the end of the end of the night table, the round table, was beautiful. It was poised. It was well thought out. It was very articulate. It was dramatic. It was colorful. I was here for it. But at the same time, of course, I know that he's wrong, But anyway, so they're all going around. This is kind of where they start talking about Dan. Like, right after breakfast, there might be a little bit about some Dan. Because Dan, Dan might be a traitor because Dan is so quiet and he doesn't really contribute to conversations. They notice that he's too scary to say any names. And I'm like, that sounds more like a faithful to me. a traitor wouldn't be upset to say a name here and there, I guess. I just don't think so. So, anyways, they're all throwing out names. So Max and Dan are the two names for most of the day. Well, the challenge is at night at midnight in a graveyard, right? And I'm starting to look at Pavarti a little way. I feel like Pavarti is just what they call her, a black widow. I feel like she's not to be trusted at all. And that Phaedra may have made a mistake by bringing her in as a traitor. Now, she's very snaky. I think both of them made the wrong decision. She's very snaky. I would have rather had Sandra in there. But anyways, so what they have to do is they have to run around this graveyard. And I thought it was so cold that they had, what do you call it? Grave markers with the past faithfuls that had got, put out. And I when they showed Marcus the beloved of Larsa, I was like, oh hell, I'd have told them, I rebuke that, I bind that and cast that. Baby, you wouldn't have been able to do that and play with none of mine like that. With no tombstone, like, baby, bye. You had to better say something funny, like, comical TV, like, oh no. Okay, I didn't like that at all. But that's just me. So the challenge was that they were supposed to run through the graveyard and bust up and dig up gold and shields. There were tools lying around, but it's in the middle of the night. And they're all wrapped up in dirt and all kind of stuff like that, vines. And they go in two teams, right? So the first team would go, and if you got caught in the floodlights that were going around the graveyard and just floating around, if you got caught in that, then you were eliminated, and then the next person from the second team gets to come in. But they ran through that first team so bad. The whole time, Bergie just sat back and watched the patterns and figured out that these things are set to a pattern. And if you learn the pattern, you will be able to anticipate where the light will fall next. Baby, the whole first team was almost obliterated before anybody started to really try to listen to Bergie. And you really do come in with your reputation. Well, I had not watched Bergie on whatever the reality Love Island that he's on. I've not watched that. He said himself, and other people have said, that he always comes off as naive and goofy and folks that don't really pay attention to him and, like, kind of silly minded a little bit. And I think that reputation seriously hindered this operation, and hindered people from being, their preconceived notions hindered them from being able to listen to him, like, oh, he might really know this pattern, might really know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, once they start seeing his butt wasn't getting out, and a couple of people who didn't mind listening to him wasn't getting put out, everybody started listening. He ran the game and got everybody, they got a cute little pool. I think it was like 19,500. And Peter got a shield, and somebody else got a shield. And then Peter was still out there with his shield, still hammering through stuff, trying to find the other shields. And here go Janelle with her big Bogart self. Can I get that? Okay, I need that. Can I get that? Because I guess since Peter already got a shield, she's like, can I get it? You know what I'm saying? Since you busted it up for us. You know what I'm saying? So she go down to get it. And she was helping him a little bit, like trying to bust it a little or break through it or whatever. And Pavarti was like standing over her, and not Pavarti, Ekin's son tried to reach over side of her and snatch the shield. And girl, I'm with Janelle. No, you tried to Rudy put me and I pooty rude you. Okay. So they got in an argument. They talking mess, talking about how selfish Janelle is, and Janelle is very selfish. But I just did not see it to where Ekin's son was already there before Janelle. And I dang sure didn't see where she was bent down enough, even helping to get it. You know what I'm saying? She just wanted to dive in on her once it was visible. She just wanted to dive in on it and get it. Baby, ain't happening. Okay. So they talking about it like a dog in a car. Well, like I said, they won 19,500. What's her name? MJ was hollering she wanted to, do better on this challenge. She did not. It's like, you are so not physical. And was like a little roly-poly and got caught real quick by the light. I was just like, ugh, MJ. Well, before the challenge, they had a lot of talking time stuff because the challenge was at the end of the day at midnight. Girl, they got Dan's name in their mouth, baby. And Parvati, she don't want to you know, contribute to the Dan talk. And she doesn't want to put herself in the crosshairs and incite suspicion to herself. So she goes and tells Dan, like, baby, everybody got the yo man name in the mouth. He's like, who is like everybody? And just know this is what they saying about you. You don't talk enough. And he like, oh Lord, okay, now I really can't keep doing this charade that I'm doing, trying to stay low profile and stuff. And MJ actually used that word. You're trying to be low profile. I was like, dang, she got you. But anyway, so they all going hard against Dan, and Dan starting to shake a little bit. So then they go through the whole, competition. And honey, Deontay is putting uh this case against Max together. And I'm looking at Deontay like, this don't even seem like you. You know what I'm saying? And he's going all hard, and uh the what do you call them people? The traitors, they get a letter that says they got to unalive this time in plain sight. Meaning there's some kind of book, and the books, they got like a shape in the inside of it and they're cut out. They got a book with a chalice in it, and they need to go in the library, get the book, okay? Without being detected, get the chalice out, serve somebody a drink in the chalice, and that this drink will come up, this it will show some kind of way in several hours afterwards who had been unalive. Okay. So Phaedra, half crazy, but even recognizing how much she said, because Dan and Pavarti got said they got this. And Pavarti was ready. She's like, well, I want to do this, honey. I know I can slick it into somebody and get somebody put together real quick with this chalice and make them drink out of it. So they executed it. We don't get to see it in the end because we got to go to the next episode, which I'm like, if this episode is called In Plain Sight, why it wasn't done in this episode. But anyway, uh, they over there, what did she say? Oh, they want either MJ, Sheree, or John. But the way that challenge look, ain't nobody. It needs to be. It's silver. If you ever seen silver that needs to be polished, that's what it looks like. So real silver that needs to be polished, that's what it looks like. So it's crazy because she she can't. She's trying to figure out how to get it to somebody, and all the three people they went into it thinking about getting, she's not able to do it because they already have a drink in their hand. They're around a whole bunch of people. It's gonna look funny. And then she sets her eyes on someone else. And it's a couple other people that the camera darts to. And I feel like she's going for the like strawberry blonde cute guy. I forgot what his name is. I think that's what we're gonna find her do. But this all happens after the round table. During the round table, like I said. Oh, and before I go to the round table, Phaedra even says she gonna see if her letting them partner up to do this in plain sight unaliving is gonna work against her. And I have an idea that it is. I already told you that stuff was lining up like that, right? But when she saw Pavarti with the chalice and was going up to Sheree, because they made the idea of Sheree without Phaedra, thinking that Sheree, they just need somebody like off the wall now, like that just puts them away from the traitors. You know what I'm saying? Like their unaliving would it just would be so off the wall, right? So, anyways, uh baby, Phaedra in there with Sheree, and they talking, and she see that lady come in with that challenge. She said, "Oh no, baby, we ain't in no kind of alliance or nothing like that, but she ain't gonna be killed on my watch." I said, "I know that's right." Okay, she said, "Oh no, baby." She got real close and got to watch it, try to see what she's gonna do. I hollered, girl. I hollered. Okay, so she had to move on. Phaedra was on that. But anyway, that's how she had to move on to somebody else. So anyway, now let's get to the table. The table was ridiculous. When I tell you that daggone Deontay was a Shakespearean poet, baby, he accused Max so hard, Max couldn't even hardly speak. He went in on Max, and why this and that? Everybody's like, oh my gosh. And just coming from him, of course, probably with that athlete thing. And then, oh, he's an athlete talking like this, and he must really have this conviction and woo to woo, why? Right? Baby, please. Max didn't hardly have nothing to say. Max said, listen, I just ain't have nothing to say to you about that because I hadn't wrapped my head around it yet. I really didn't think nothing about it. But that doesn't make me a traitor. What we need to really be talking about, and then he started talking about the girls when they got into it. So people was like, well, wouldn't a traitor do that? Try to put somebody else's name up just to get because the heat is on them. He was like, no, not actually. It's like we need to get other names in this group. Y'all need to stop piling on one person and get some other names and start thinking this through. And they was like, nah, bro, we ain't really into that. But the girls' names, Janelle and Ekinsu, who got into it about that daggone shield, were brought up. They did go back and forth with each other about the story and like what happened and what they think happened. But they were still like, nah, babe, we still looking at you. Baby, then MJ got on Dan's tail. MJ and Larsa. Baby, Dan was shaking. If he thinks for a moment that he did well right here, he did not. It was just so much stuff going on. And that freaking letter of conviction that freaking Deontay recited was so cold against Max. That's the only reason why Dan didn't get it. He got enough votes, but Dan didn't got right there. And his conversation, he was like, if you want me to talk more, I can talk more to you. If you want me to say some more things to you, I can, Larsa. And but I just don't think you have to talk all the time to be in this group. And I was like, is that really what you saying, girl? I mean, boy, is that really what you saying? I just was listening to him like, oh, you better be glad that Max got done bad like that by Deontay. Okay? Because you would have been out of there. He got he got some votes in there, even though most of the votes, another unanimous, was against Max. Max gives he said, I ain't got no long speech. I'm a faithful. Baby, these folks is like, what? What? We got to stop. They keep saying, we got to stop doing it. But y'all keep doing the same thing. You keep doing the same thing. You need to be analyzing the dang game that people are playing, not no reaction and stuff. That's too much. It leaves too much room for error. Okay, you need to be honing in on folks and watching the game that they playing. Okay. Anyways, baby, after they done got rid of Max, and that boy was it's Max. He was talking all in his breath. He was so self assured that it was Max. He done went on the couch. This is Deontay and fell out crying. This game is hard. Oh my gosh. I'm like, Dad, he don't like to lose. He don't like to be wrong. He don't like to lose. Okay. And I'm kind of like, you letting these folks see you cry and act like, oh, I don't know if I can play this game. Baby, they'll put you when everybody knows in these type of vote off things, when they start hearing you giving up and waving the white flag, they start helping you wave the flag. So I just don't even know why he did that. I'm disappointed. Ugh. Anyway, y'all, you have to watch how the Dandy Man, Mr. Alan Cumming, who is the host, he is so funny. The way that he narrates this just brings so much to this show. He's very much into the British like vocabulary and quirkiness and the way that they put words together. And he be, reading and being shady to people. I was just like, oh my gosh, right? he gave Larsa Marcus's picture, and he was like, you can, look at this and help yourself, try to get through it. And then he was like, oh, this is throwing off the vibe. Moving on. I was like, oh my gosh, she looked like what? Y'all, I am loving Traitors. I am. Y'all should really watch it with me. So we're gonna go see who this freaking Parvati hands this chalice off to, okay? We got to go see. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye. Oh, before I say bye, I do want to say this. I do not think that the alliance that I feel like, what's his name? Dan was, in my opinion, trying to formulate with Parvati is racist in nature. I don't. Okay. I previously said, I've had experience with white people who will do that type of stuff, which like be on some stuff on a team with me, and then we'll get all of them to be like, oh, we're, try to forge these relationships, mainly not against me initially, but then try to come against me from these built up trust mechanisms in relation when we all were on the same team from the beginning. Because right now, the traitors have to watch each other too, but not so much right now. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't like how I felt like he was trying to schmooze up to her. And even Phaedra is catching it. But I don't think it's racist. I just think it's trifling. So I did want to come back and addend to that. And make sure that my point was clear, because in my being triggered by what I saw, I don't think I made the statement that I really feel. So I want to say that. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.